What's up, everybody? How are you? Happy Wednesday in the building, baby. It is Wednesday. The week is moving along. I hope you all are safe and sound and taking care of yourself. Um, as for me, I am doing just that. Getting new updates. Bronx video shows somebody getting shot at a bodega in the Bronx. What do you got to do? We got to be careful, everybody. We really do. We got to take care of ourselves. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. This is Real Talk with Kevin and Chuck. But I don't know if they will be with us tonight, and I might just be going solo. But there's some things I want to talk to you about anyway, because I can hold it down by myself. I do what I do. So first and foremost, I will tell you what who the show is sponsored by and the things that are sponsored by. I don't have all of them, but of course, we talk about Soft Illusions Art Gallery, mugs, and all type of different things. The magazine, the Deadly Arts Survival magazine. I don't have that in front of me because I've been running around taking care of stuff all day, and I just wanted to sit down and kick it with you guys real quick. So, with that being said, how's everybody doing? I am trying to get situated. I want to talk to you about the Emmett Till documentary on Hulu. Excuse me. I want to talk to you about Eric Adams, and people got a lot of issues with the fact that he picked his brother to run one of the organizations. I want to get your take on that and see how you feel about that, because I want to talk to you about a lot of people have done that in the past. Other administrations have come in and done the same thing. Now people are holding it like it's problematic for him to do that. What's your take on that? Do you feel that way? I don't. Because we could sit here and definitely talk about Marlene, how are you? Vera with the wonderful last name, Forster, Doji, hey Stefania. Hello, everybody. Tonight it's just the three of it's you and I, and what we're going to talk about tonight. So whatever you all want to talk about, I'm ready to chop it up with you. Like I said, I started off talking about Eric Adams. First, let me give my condolences to the 17 people that lost their lives in that tragic fire in the Bronx. So for those that are living in apartment buildings, if your doors are not secure, but they don't close properly, please tell your landlord or your super or whomever so they can have the proper procedures to go forward. So God forbid if a fire does occur, that the wind doesn't make the fire travel. What's up, Kenny? The building had over 170 building violations. We need to start holding the landlords accountable. Absolutely. What's up, Kev? What's up, Kenny? Shout out to you brothers in the building. Tonight, it's whatever you want to talk about. Yeah, they did have a lot of violations, and I'm not taking that away from anybody. And I'm not trying to say that's any reason, but I think what we're talking about is, I think, to be honest with you, Stefania, I think we would find violations in anybody's building right now. What's up, Darren? Now, I'm not justifying death, though. I don't even want you to think I'm saying that. But what I am saying is that if these doors weren't closed properly, because they all died from smoke inhalation, they didn't die from the fire. Well, the fire, of course, but they didn't die from the actual flames and the fire touching their skin. They died from smoke inhalation, which is almost worse than anything. So I would love to get some of my fire FD people on and have them talk about this tonight. I would love to do that. And Stefania said, and if they don't fix the problems, there needs to be systems in place to help the people. Absolutely. So, we're definitely talking about a sad situation that has occurred, and tragedy. Also, the young woman that was working in Burger King, and the gunman robbed the place, trying to rob the place, and he shot her. So I mean, like, the public safety is still paramount on the list of the new mayor's situation. Also, there's a lot of uproar about the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg and what he was saying in lieu of what he wants to prosecute and not prosecute. Now, you all know Alvin Bragg has been on this show many times, and I, when he had that conversation or that article came out in the paper, I reached out to him and invited him back, knowing he's very busy now. So I knew that I wasn't able to get him right away. But trust me, I will try to get him here as soon as possible, because he needs to explain what he's talking about. Because you're telling me that you're not going to prosecute petty larceny. You're not going to prosecute these things. People jumping turnstiles and stuff. So you're telling me people could just walk into any store, grocery store, Dwayne Reed, CVS, any store of these magnitudes, and they could just rob and steal and they're not going to get prosecuted. So what are you going to say that? And like I said, Alvin Bragg is my man. I'm telling you, like, this is real talk. I'm going to ask, like, dog, we need to talk. I want you to come on and tell the people what you're saying, because what you're not going to prosecute somebody if they, what is it? Did he say something like if you have a gun, it's not going to be a certain crime because you didn't use it or something like that? There's a lot of discrepancy, and like I said, I've sat on daises with Alvin before. I was very supportive of his election. I was very happy when he won. We go to the same church, so I know his lovely wife. So we have a history together, and like I said, he's been on the show a couple of times, and this show, Real Talk Chronicles, supported Alvin Bragg. So like I said, when that article came out, I asked him. I reached out to him. We text, and I asked him to come back. Also, too, we want to. I would love to get Eric. I know Eric is busy right now. In the 5 days that he's been in office, he's been hit with a plethora of stuff. Probably maybe more than any other man has probably just coming in the office and what he's had to deal with. What do you think about the PC? You like? Don't like? I was for it. The deputy PC. Shout out to my man Eddie Caban. I so co-sign that aspect, that situation. Chief of department. What happened there? Supposedly Jeff Madry was supposed to get that position. Some internal stuff that must be happening. If I know, I ain't gonna tell you yet. I don't do gossip. Shout out to Tracy, Phil, Jason. What's up, brother? AJ, my man, is in the building. Anything you guys, Doji, Marlene, I got the Braswells in the building. I appreciate you. So anything you want to talk about, I want to talk about. I also do want to say that people are mad at Eric for picking his brother to do something within law enforcement. And those people that are mad at him for that. Let me ask you a question. Who in the world has never got anything due to nepotism? I'm not talking about taking a test, but a lot of times we're talking about promotions and things of that magnitude. Listen, Giuliani, when he was in office, he had his wife. in a position. What's up, Colin? Excuse me, y'all. I'm just rubbing my eye. Something's in my eye. Bloomberg hired his daughters. Trump, we know what Trump did with his family. So you telling me Eric can't do the same thing for his? Really? Is that where we are? Are we, some people, so scrutinizing a man of color? Like I said, he's the first man of color that's been in a power position like that. That's basically telling you to kiss his, you know what? Dinkins was trying to do the Great Mosaic, for those that are old enough to remember. He was trying to pacify this and try to pacify that. Obama, what did his lovely wife say? They go low, we go high. Knock it off. Eric is like, yo, I'm the mayor. It's my city. I'm running this the way I want to. So yeah, has he put people in place? The banks, other people in office that he knows, that he feel has his back? Absolutely. And to the winner goes the spoils. What's your thoughts on that? Comments, anything? I don't have a problem with it. If any of you have a problem with it, if he put me in a position, would you have a problem with me being there? So let's see where we're going. Exactly, Doji, knock it off. Like you said, Jason, Trump hired his whole family. Hello, Colin. So like I said, tonight, this is Real Talk. I'm your host, Bill Forster. My co-hosts, both of them are dealing with certain situations, so I'm going to rock with you. I don't know if any of you, bravo to that helicopter. I don't know if you heard about the helicopter that crashed in the suburbs of PA. Bravo to that helicopter pilot. For nobody got hurt. I mean, little scrapes and stuff, but the baby, the 2-year-old baby, is fine, and thank God for that. So, just so many things. Anna said, I think our people should always look out for each other. We don't stick together enough. Yeah, let's talk about that. We Anna, thank you, Anna. We really don't. Why is it that people of color, we have a problem sticking up for each other? Talk about each other in a heartbeat. Listen, we can spread your business, but when it's about support, no. And you know what's bothering me a lot? A lot of times I see a lot of people of color taking shots at Eric. And you're more vocal about him than you were anybody. You shooting at Eric like he was a deer. And this is hunting season. But when it was Giuliani, Bloomberg, whomever, Trump, you a church mouse. Why is that? Maybe we're our own enemy. Jay Cross in the building. Exactly, Kenny Willie Lynch. Let me tell you something. So like I said earlier, and I'll say it again, if people have a problem with Eric putting his people into play, then there's something wrong with you, because I have not seen anybody in this world, in any job, any person of power, any supervisor that has not hired or brought somebody along that has their back. If I was in a position, I'm gonna bring my friends or the people that I know have my back, my allies. Who I'm gonna put in there? Somebody I don't know? Listen, if people have a problem with him putting people of color in there, you didn't have a problem when Giuliani was there. He put white people in there. You didn't have a problem when Trump put white people in there. To the winner goes the spoils. Listen, Cuomo didn't have one black person in his administration. But, everybody thought he was the second coming to the Jesus or the next president to be, because his briefings were on COVID. And then look, all these allegations that came out against him. Now, I'm not saying he's guilty or he's not guilty, but what I'm trying to say is that who did he have people of color? but people of color supported him. He won downstate. Cuomo has always won downstate. Upstate, he hasn't won. Lisa Shane is in the building. Childhood. Jay Boogie. And I said, me too. I would put on all my people. Exactly. You better put on your people and fire. And listen, and I'll be the first one to fire all my people if they don't handle their business, because I put you in a position to win and then to keep me winning. And if I don't win, nobody wins. So, we have a lot going on in this world today. Public safety is happening all over the world. The president is still having problems over there with Russia and what they're doing. Listen, I mean, for those that have some tenure on this earth, doesn't it seem like the world is just effed up right now? Like, what do we have to live for? No, don't get me wrong, not live for. I got a lot to live for. I got a lot of shit to do. What's up, Kelvin? But it seems like the world is just going crazy. So every different variant, every time you turn around, there's another variant out. Right now, we're not even going to be able to talk to each other, look at each other without catching some shit. Oh, first Monday of the month, Al Taylor. Last Monday, we had Mark Levine, Manhattan Borough President. Second Monday of the month, we had Dr. Marilyn Quarter. She dropped some jewels. That's probably like phenomenal, the stuff that she lays down. And I always say the naysayers, I appreciate your data and the information that you share to me behind the scenes, because I need all the help, my inside reporters. I need all your help and information. But the bottom line is, for those that really are anti-vaccine, and I'm not here promoting the vaccine. I just did what I had to do, and my family did what we had to do for ourselves. But if you want to drop down science, I always tell you, come on a show with Dr. Quarter. You're more than welcome. Don't beat me up, because I'll tell you what I'm an expert in or what I'm deemed knowledgeable of. And the vaccine stuff is not what I'm deemed knowledgeable. So I can only tell you what I know and talk about what I do know. And that being said, come on and deal with the doctor. That's the way that goes. As long as they're qualified. Exactly, Kenny. Because Kenny, shoot, if I get in the office and there's something that had to do with your forte, and if you rocking with me and I know you got my back, I'm gonna hire you, brother. Vivian's in the education, voters' rights being suppressed, and Russia, China. Yo, that's crazy, right? What are we going through? I've never seen the world this topsy turvy. And correct me. I mean, for anybody that's older than me, have you ever seen it this bad? We got Karens in this world today. What's up, Marquetta? How are you? Terrence, what up, T? How are you, my brother? We got correction officers getting slashed and fighting, and their work conditions are horrible. Like they're almost like they're inmates. The transit system, people getting into all kind of situations on the train. Crime is still crime. Do you think, let me ask you all this. How did the youth become so volatile? I don't want to hear about mental illness. I don't want to hear that, because I don't agree with that. I'm not saying there are not any people that don't have mental illness. That's not what Bill said. What Bill is saying is that not every badass little kid is has mental challenges. That's what I'm trying to say. Listen, everybody here could have or could not have been incarcerated, and being incarcerated doesn't make you a bad person, because I know some notorious people that have manners, that will hold the door for you and say yes ma'am, no ma'am, and all those things. May kill you, but they'll still say yes ma'am and no ma'am. They hold the door for your mother, but they'll bust a cap in your behind. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, Okay, what am I intel getting in? The mayor tells what? Let's see. I get process. Elected official, he is open and changing constant process for the school. Well, yeah, what about this? Schools in Brooklyn, like kids walked out of school, right? I think was that Bronx Science or somebody some school that they walked out from not for they want to do remote learning now. What do y'all think about that? Jason said they don't know how to use the imitation, imagination, and no respect for their elders. Exactly. Listen, we could be bad as we wanted to, but if Jason's mother came down the street, yeah, it was Brooklyn Tech. If Jason's mother came down the street and she saw me, I'd be like, "Hi, Miss Braswell, how are you?" As soon as she go upstairs, I may be cussing and fussing like a sailor. Parents used to be able to reprimand other people's children and stuff like that. We can't do that nowadays. Do we need to, like, how do we solve that problem? For those that know, I've gone around 5 boroughs, mentoring, talking to schools, talking to kids. It's one day out of 365. You know, hey, Eunice, how you doing, Miss Collins? It's always a pleasure. How do we get, you know, how do we get the kids back on track where they respect the elderly or just respect people? Are they not being taught manners? This is what I'm lost and delusional. There is no fear of going to jail, you know, getting arrested. Has crime has the laws gotten too lenient? What do you all think? There's so much to talk about. There's so many things that we need to discuss out here, and we need to find out what's happening because the bottom line is we got problems. We got problems in our cities. Chicago. I just saw a clip of Chicago. People were shooting at the cops like it was all right. Like there was years ago, you didn't shoot at cops. And then there was an officer not too long ago. I think she got killed. And condolences to her family because it is a tough job. Well, thank you, Marquetta. Driving and listening. Please be safe. Eunice Collins, always appreciate you. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. This is Real Talk. Usually we'll have Kevin and Chuck, but they're taking care of personal issues and situations. And I do what I do. You know, I rock with you. So anything you all want to talk about, I'm willing to talk about. Dr. Marilyn Corder. Oh, just an update on Allison. She's doing much better. Kelvin said more deputy mayors and are more concerned to position the head of department more of color. Well, Kelvin, you know what's so funny? That's what I said earlier. I don't know if you heard. People were they having issues with Eric appointing people of color in positions. And what I said is that this is my personal feeling, and their other administrations have put their friends in power. So the fact that Eric is putting his people in power and they're people of color, people got issues with it. I find out it seemed like more people of color got more problems with it than the stuff. It's like, yo, people of color, we that blind that we're so caught in the BS that we can't even we hate to see our own people shine. So the bottom line is Eric puts his brother in a position of power. Okay, is his brother qualified? Let's deal with the issue. If you taking Pookie off the corner, and no disrespect to somebody named Pookie, but I'm just using that off the corner, and he doesn't have any knowledge of the topic at hand, then that's something to talk about. But there are people of color that are very qualified, i.e., the mayor is qualified to be the mayor. That's why he won. Now, we've seen people that are not qualified to be in political office. He goes by the name of 45. Well, his nickname is 45. and he was in office, and he put his family in office. People had a problem with it, but they would listen. Bloomberg, like I said earlier, he put his children in office. De Blasio, his wife got in office, put in positions. Okay. Giuliani put his wife. So why are some people, not you all, or maybe might be some of you in here if you are, fine. If anybody wants to come in and chime in and talk to me, text me. I'll send you the link. I'll inbox it to you. You're more than welcome to come on here and have a conversation and tell me your thoughts and feelings on certain things. And I'm by myself tonight, so you got me for a good half an hour. We're gonna chop it up. Hey Sharon, what's up, Mark? Vivian said, "What the hell? Eric has the right to put who he wants in office. Every other mayor did the same. What's the issue now?" Absolutely, absolutely. Because let me tell you something, Vivian. If it has something to do with education, if you're not the chancellor, you might damn near be executive in that thing, because I know you know what you're talking about. Colin, I don't know if it's a new position he created, or it might be, but it's his brother, and they're talking about his brother coming from Virginia, but his brother's a law enforcement. Then the fact that he's a retired sergeant, so he's educated, because to be a sergeant you have to have a certain amount of credits, and he did it for 2 decades. So that means he did 20 years. Then he went to Virginia, and he's some kind of supervisor. Tremel, what's going on, Tremel? What's happening, brother? I need to send you a link and come on and tell us what's going on in transit, or you could just come on and tell us what's happening in the world, Tremel, because I know you pop it off real good. How you feeling, brother? Darren Joseph, Aaron Bragg really needs to explain himself. Exactly. Like I said earlier to everybody, I said, for those that know, I've had Alan Bragg on this show many times before in the past. And when that article came out in the paper about what he wants to prosecute and not prosecute, threw me off. I have no problem saying I supported the man, but I reached out and I texted him and I asked him, I said, I need you to come on the show again and explain your position, because you're not going to prosecute misdemeanors and stuff like that. And what if a person has a gun and they don't shoot it? You're not going to process the fact that they have the gun, as long as they didn't shoot it. Alvin, come on, man. Listen, it's real talk. We're going to ask you the real questions, so we want you to explain yourself. And like I said, I'm a supporter of Alvin Bragg. Real Talk Chronicles was a supporter of Alvin Bragg. I felt I was instrumental in helping him get elected, no matter if it's a small or large, if I told somebody else to vote for him. So, like I said, I asked him to come on the show. I'm assuming when his schedule permits, he will come on the show. I think some of us, we need to not stop nitpicking certain things. Now, what Alvin said, we can nitpick. This doesn't have anything to do with color. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you how are you feeling? What would you all want a DA to do? Well, a DA is supposed to do this thing, but do you want to do we need to get back to being hard on crime? What's your thoughts on that? Thumbs up, or thumbs down? Should we get back to being hard on crime? Stefania said, speaking of Julian, his son is a governor. Oh, where's his little punk son at? So they put everybody in office. Yeah, Jason, I feel yes. We all need to get back hard on crime, because the legislation changed these laws, and now everybody's soft on crime. And it's just, let me tell you something. I don't care what city I'm in. I kind of live up and down on the East Coast. No matter where you are, it's the youth. The older people are really, if you still acting crazy, then you just bat stupid, you know. But the young, like they just driving reckless. They like they're just running lights and stop signs. I don't see any reason to follow authority anymore. A red light doesn't mean anything. I mean, and now we got to go back to the police too with this. I'm tired of hearing about the police afraid to lose their job. Quit the shit then. Quit your effing job and go get you another job where it's not this. But don't tell me you know, because if that's the case, then everybody should be afraid to lose their job. A cashier should be afraid to lose their job. If the money comes up short, they still deal with the money. A bank teller, if her money comes up short, a doctor, everybody should be afraid to use their job if they engage in the public. Listen, I say this all the time. If I was still working, I might lose my job too, because you're not going to talk to me the way we see some people bucket throwing water on people and all kind of buffoonery. Like we've seen some video guys is like, yo, he's going to slap the cop's face. You're going to do what? You're not going to slap my face. And then if you do, you're not going to slap all 10 of our faces. How about that? And then you're going to go to jail for assaulting a police officer. So the bottom line is you're going to go to jail for even threatening to slap me. There has to be some kind of law and order. Think about that. Not that we are like civilians are equated to police officers as adults to children or children to adults. But could you figure you come home and you tell your son or your daughter, yo, pick that up? No, I ain't picking shit up. You and daddy get out my face before I slap the shit out y'all. How many of y'all would let your son or daughter talk to you like that? Junior, Junette, pick that up. No, I'm tired of you always harassing on me. Get out my face, mommy and daddy. Y'all always stressing me. Pick it up or you're grounded. You ain't going to do shit. I'll slap the shit out of both of y'all. How many of y'all going to co-sign that? Sheila, what's going on in the building? Stefania, you drop it? No, I meant he's running for governor. Oh, okay. Eunice, absolutely hard on crime. Too many out on the streets in 10 minutes. Absolutely. Demon said we need to get back to that. The world is different now. And some of these young kids do not have any respect. They need to have repercussions. Absolutely. Miss Taylor, how are you, sister? The only problem with him hiring his brother is the color of his skin. For decades, this has been a common practice amongst Caucasians in NYPD, sanitation, and in transit. Nepotism and coronism, in all these agencies have been rampant and a lot if those individuals were unqualified. Excuse me for a minute. The only difference in the color of the skin is the brother is qualified that he deserves the position. Absolutely. Marlene says, sounds like funeral arrangements to me. Absolutely. You know that. Everybody, you know. One thing, you ain't gonna see nobody disrespect me or no damn police. Listen, when I worked with Miss Taylor in transit, we was old school. We wasn't having that. You wasn't getting on the bus talking all crazy to me. Like, yo, the things that you wasn't getting on my bus and you wasn't paying your fare. I'll pull an emergency brake up in a minute and be like, what? You can bring your pump, you know what, over here, man. Pay this fare. I got some stories for y'all, man. And listen, I drove the bus in Harlem, up and down Broadway. Some people, you remember when I used to drive the bus, the number 4, number 5, the number 10, right all up in Harlem. The 3, wasn't talking crazy, drove it up all the way up to Washington Heights. I didn't care who you were, Latin, black, Spanish, white. Shoot, down in the village, Houston Street. I'll never forget, a cat got on the bus one time. You're going to try to yell at me, talking about, yo, why the bus late? And slammed his money in the thing and talk about, I want to answer. Okay, give me a second. Now, how do you want me to explain this to you? Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I said, oh, I thought that. He sat down. He came up later, told him, I'm sorry. I was just a little upset. It was hot outside. Yeah, it's about to get hot up in here, Captain. You know what I'm saying? Marlene said, sound. Yeah, exactly. Jason said, politicians have made the police department soft. You're right about that. Trust me, they've made them very soft. It is crazy. It's truly scary. Listen, and then you can't even. And let me just say this: for all of those out there, including myself, that deem we have a mouth and we're not punk, the new generation has to kind of have you on your heels a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I carry a gun. Martial artist, whatever you want to say it. I think I can handle myself a little bit. But these cats are just reckless. So, you're not supposed to live in fear. But damn, man, who wants to go outside anymore? You can't, you ducking Corona, you ducking Omicron, you ducking the new variants, Delta. Now you got to duck the young cat that's out here preying on you. You're getting offended, bender. Like there's more road rage shootings than probably ever before. This is the time when we need stats here to run down the stats. Yep, Tracy, you're right. How are you? They harass the ones that pay. Yep. And drivers don't even say anything. You just like I tell people now, Malika and I was in the car together. A female gangster cuts Malika off, stops on her brakes, wanting us to hit us. I'm like, oh, like, and she's not even worried about Malika and I. She's in there by herself, like she gangster. Like, young generation want to bring it for no reason. It's like you want to prove, like you really want to meet Jesus. And I think you all know what I'm trying to say. Like you really want to meet Jesus or the devil or Lucifer, because you trying to go into 6 feet. Like, I don't know what it is. A lot of y'all are not of you all here, but I'm just saying they just trying. They're trying. You're right, Marlene. He told me. What up with the kids just walking on the bus and not paying? I don't know. Colin said, why every time I take the bus, it seems like I'm the only person paying? You're right about that. Well, Ms. Taylor, you might want to comment on this. I left transit before you did. The one thing I think transit has told them not to engage with them. So just let them get on. Now they're supposed to have the little transit police that are supposed to take them off. But listen, when I say transit police, I think they're individuals that have some kind of security peace officer, but I don't think they have firearms. So, I mean, what am I going to do? You get on, and I tell you, listen, you pay your fare, get off. You tell me no. Where we go from here? Can I escort you? Can I arrest you? I mean, this generation doesn't care about getting the summons. You write me a summons, I don't care. Like this new generation doesn't care about getting a summons. They summons, rip it up, throw it in your face. E-double, what's up, baby? Tracy, I get harassed every morning on the bus. Really? What are they doing? The young kids are just talking? Listen, I remember when I was driving a bus of school kids. See, I can tell you, it's been over 20 some years since I've been on a bus. And they start, they get on and just push the bell, bing. Then I pull over, nobody get off. 3 more stops of that. What the? Oh, have me come back there. I'll give you a reason to ring that bell. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the times have changed. I'm old school. What's up, Norman? Stefania said back in the day, some bus drivers would put the bus out of service. Nah, they don't do that anymore. only if they get hurt or spat at or something, or physically accosted. Otherwise, then they tell them just to keep driving. You know, Marlene said people need to learn how to live and not just exist. Stop making excuses for what not collect fares. Exactly. Like, we have to do better for ourselves. We really do. Absolutely, E. Miss Taylor said yes. Times have really changed for the worse. We are living in a society where people want to co-sign and make excuses for bad behavior. You and I both know back in the day, these young cats would have got hands put on them for disrespecting the bus driver. Absolutely. Now the TA has all this decision makers in place with all this customer service BS. They don't have a clue what drivers have to deal with on a daily basis. They have the public believing that if a driver defends themselves, they lose their job. You're right. Yeah, Stefania, I was a driver too before I became PD. Yeah, what's up, Norm? Love you, bro. Tracy said I was on the bus stop and the person was smoking and the driver threatened to take the bus out of service. Yeah, well, maybe you can do that. I'm sure there's still reasons that you can threaten to take. You try to maybe make the people switch on the person that's smoking, but I remember I used to tell my mother all the time, don't take the train, don't take the train, take the bus. The bus is the safest thing. I thought the bus was so easy. You can go on a bus and just relax and look out the window. I'd be on the window, whistling and looking out the window and stuff. It was just peaceful. Exactly. That's how I did it. But now you get on the bus, everybody, it's almost just as bad as going on a train. Like, pick your poison. You go on the train, you got to fight and tussle in a turnstile. In the train. On the bus, you got to fight and tussle to get on. And cats are just walking on the back of the bus like, yo, whatever. So, crime, like I said, road rage. Every time you turn around, I was telling them about the time the girl cut us off, Malika, in the car.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, like, what's going on out here? Yeah. Like, this is just listen, I understand why people stay in the house now. Love to hang out with you, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to defend myself, and I don't want to lose. And that's real talk. I don't want to lose. I don't want to be caught slipping, walking down the street. It's almost afraid. People pushing robberies, walking behind somebody, and next thing you know, they're trying to rob you. Tony Castillo, what's up, Tony? What's happening in the PD world? I know some stuff, but you be careful out there, brother. I know right now, you make an arrest, there's nobody prosecuting anything right now, so that's just crazy to hear. Marlene said, "Hey, Malika."
Hey, Marlene.
Idra, what's up, baby? I got Transit Strong in here tonight. So Idra and I used to drive together. Well, Taylor too. We was all, and then that's back then. Even females didn't feel fearful of driving. Lisa Shane, some crazy issues here in Atlanta as well. It's all over. Crazy drivers, crime, etc. Oh, really? Atlanta picking up too? What's the energy out there, Lisa, and ATL over the Aubrey, those three guys getting life? Miss Collins said, mailman got my calendar. Oh. She said she got a calendar. Miss Collins got a calendar.
Oh, Eunice. Good. That's good.
Idra in the building. Yeah. So, that's what I'm trying to say. Everywhere you go, crime is just popping off. What do you do? Even in, you try to live in the suburbs, you run and hide. Try to stay in your own apartment. Like I said, I'm still in Harlem on Riverside. If I'm not on Riverside, I'm down the highway somewhere. Tracy said your thoughts when the pandemic started and they closed off half of the bus and we were forced to get on the back, and they thought that was acceptable because we didn't have to pay. Yeah, back then, when they done lost their mind, and the city gonna recoup their money. Trust me, the city's gonna get their money back, because as you notice, they're trying to wean everybody out from not driving. Trying to wean everybody from driving cars. They're trying to make this Listen, Eric can ride the train if he want to. My ass. Eric can ride the city bike. I ride my own bike. I mean, and the young cats, you can't even get to a city bike because they sitting on it like it's a bench. You be like, oh my god. Then you really want to, you're fearful to say, excuse me, can I get to? You don't want to watch them now because they'll take your credit card or your card, MTA card. I mean, what's up, young man? They take your card too. That's Malika's dog, Miles. He in the building.
You know, all in your face.
Yeah. Bill, sidebar. Can I get your wife's website? I'm looking for black art. Absolutely, Malika. You got to put it in the thing for Norm.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, and today I'm with Kevin and Chuck, but they had some other things to do, so I just wanted to chop it up with you. And one thing I can do is kick it. And you can talk about any topic. Like I said, we started off tonight talking about Eric Adams and him picking people, nepotism, what it is. He has the right to. Like I said, Bloomberg picked his daughters. I didn't hear shit. Giuliani picked his wife, his little crazy son, now running for office. Then he put Carrick and his crew in all positions. Everybody you've known, any mayor that's come into office, it was Bratton, Kelly, Bratton. I mean, it was like a revolving door for those two individuals. Collins, MTA just got a major sum of money from the governor today, thanks to Como. Really, what was that in regards? Lisa said, many are glad that justice was served. They made examples out of them to send a message. Definitely, and it's still not over. I think there was some other issue that's coming up right now about some kind of shooting. Is it correct me? I must have missed it in regards to somebody getting shot. I think a person of color. Calvin, what's going on, brother? How are you, man? My Narco Ranger brother. So, Schumer. It was Schumer. Okay. What's up, Lonnie? How are you, brother? You being careful out there? And listen, everybody, please understand. Be careful. Watch your back. Sometimes think about the person that you got to mouth off with. Is it really necessary nowadays? It may not be, because Tony's on here and Tony's in law enforcement still. Right now, crime is probably at its most violent. Like the crimes being committed today are just violent. Like they're not robbing somebody and then pushing them and walking away. They're actually hitting them, abusing them, punishing them, hitting them, kicking them, things of that magnitude for no reason whatsoever. And they're just as violent to their own age groups. People just walking up to people in bodegas shooting at them like it's all right. Shoot. I'm scared to go in the bodega now. I might have to order online. But hell yeah, what's going on, brother? She said, Lisa said, yes, I really heard of another incident as well. I don't know the details of that incident yet. EW, you said, where's Al Sharpton? What you want Al Sharpton to do? Norman said, Bill, I overheard two older white men talking today, and they are hoping Trump get in office again. Oh my God. That hurt my side right there. You know what's so funny? And I tell people all the time, and I'll say it here, and I don't care. I'm not mad at anybody for being a Republican. Not at all. Now I have issues if you're a Trump supporter. That's different to me. You want to stick with your political parties, you're supposed to. I ain't mad at that. It's like repping your team. But it's hard to support the Knicks if they making bad. It's like the Giants. Did you see the last play the coach did? That's why his ass got fired. 2 quarterback sneaks. How can I co-sign that? That's like me saying, no, well, he's still a good coach. He deserves to keep his job. No, he doesn't. Bye bye. He deserves to go. You know, he said, yeah, so many things are happening that I can't keep up. Yeah, they just don't care. You're right, Calvin. You know, uh, Jason said, "Oh yeah, that's how bad Biden is." Yeah, I mean, Biden is bad. Yeah, you know, people, nobody's loving Biden, but damn sure. I mean, I'll take him over Trump. How y'all feeling about Kamala? Y'all feel she doing anything? I mean, really, what the vice presidents really do? I mean, she sits in the Congress, you know. But do you feel she should be more out there? Do we expect too much or we expect too little? Are people of color just hard to please? Some may, but I mean, we earned our right to be complaining. We sure did. We earned our right to say what we feel and how we feel about it. Uh, let's go Steelers. Go Sixers. Yeah, yeah. Kenny, y'all gonna trade? Y'all gonna trade Ben Simmons? What y'all gonna do with him? He gonna hang out with us and have a cigar in a minute. Let's see.
They need to let him go.
E double, what you said? Let R. Kelly out? Nah, he ain't coming out. They're gonna keep him in there. You know, let me tell you something. It seems like sex crimes are hot. You know, what is it? Child pornography and the other date raping and stuff like that. What's your man Epstein and that crew? Listen, you touching somebody, violating, you're going to jail. You're out of here. But you said, Norm said, Norm said, F. Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. They only come out when they can be the ones running the show. Sharpton was a good government snitch. Oh, wow. Here, take this, Malika. Exactly. So we never know what's going on with that.
Hello.
So, you know,
How are you here?
Eunice said, I have an inside track. Kamala will not run. She won't win. Exactly. Lonnie said, we are hard to please, especially when nothing is being done for our communities on the consistent basis. Exactly. It is hard for us to get in office. You know, I used to hear people. I'm not going to tell you I didn't have a little thought process of running for something, and but you know, as much as people be like, "Yo, I got your back," they be the first one to talk about, "Oh, I was hanging out with him at the bar or something," or you know, he he didn't let me in the party or something. Somebody will find something, or I dated your girl, your ex girl, or your girl first. And she was mine, and something, whatever. Or she liked you, and then she met me and left you. So there's some reason I'll probably not win office for something. You know what I'm saying? You know, we'll always find a reason to pick on each other and stuff that magnitude. It's crazy. Vote for Eddie Gibbs, East Harlem. Tell me about him. Tell me about him, Jason. What's he talking about? We are hard to please. Exactly. We definitely are. Yeah, you're right, Kenny. Who's Ben Simmons? Huh. She's just as worse. Yeah. I mean, like I said, people didn't like Kamala when she went into office. They didn't appreciate her at all. They really didn't. They thought she was the worst. So, mm-mm-mm. So, what do you think? It's Real Talk Chronicles, y'all. Jason, who's Eddie Gibbs? Is he good? What do y'all think about the music? You know, politics. Is it just right now? They, I don't think anybody has faith in politics anymore. The Democrat, Republicans, progressives, conservatives. I just don't think there's any love for anything anymore. Oh, do you see your man Rittenhouse? He living Viva Loca right now, baby. Like he got the security. He walking around feeling strong. He got people with him. He doing the damn thing. Rittenhouse is that dude. He said he might want to go into law enforcement. Okay. That's what we doing now. We want you in a law enforcement guy. You know?
Yeah, she said call me today.
All right. Yeah. So we got a lot popping off right here. And it's crazy. So everybody going forward, Norm said it's not the president we need to worry about. It's the ones who made a career in the House and Senate. They are the ones getting rich running the government. Yeah, do you think there should be some term limits or on the judges? What do you think? Uh how do here's a perfect question. How do we keep letting the same people stay in office? Not just people of color. Hey Michelle, what's going on? And shout out to everybody. I got people, you know, calling all over. We got people in here from New York, Atlanta. Michelle, I think you're in. Where are you at, Michelle? You're in not Missouri or something. Where are you? I know you're somewhere. Just shout out to everybody that's all over and appreciate the love. Thank you. She said we're her favorite couple. Tracy, you being careful too. I don't think. Oh, that's right. You're in Memphis. So I appreciate the love. The podcast is doing good. I love all the support. Like I said, help it grow. It grows because of you all. Collins, I agree. Term limits on Congress and Senate. Darren said it should be term limits for everyone. Absolutely. Eunice said term lots of the House and Senate, but they need a law for that. I'll put in the ballot. Lonnie said folks retain their seats because we as black folks only come out in numbers on the ballot. No, okay. We only come out for the presidency. Absolutely. Jason said we need term limits. Those old farts need to be out of office. We need young blood. Yep. Demotions. Yeah, man. We keep putting the same puppets in there. And why is that? I mean, I think a lot of, like you said, Lonnie, was it Lonnie that said that? Yeah, we only come out for the presidency. And, we feel proud. Like, what's so funny? We feel proud. Like, yo, we kept Trump out of office. But we got a whole, Biden, money. You know how y'all Harlem cats know what I'm saying. When we press somebody, we like, yo, money, come on, dog, word. Like, stop, don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? That's real old school Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Michelle said, our taxes are paying their salaries, getting tired of paying to get F. Exactly. No, you said it right. Vivian said, we need to get out and vote for every election. Absolutely. Taylor said, they should definitely be term limits. Also, before anyone can run for president, they should at least have 10 years of political experience and do away with the electoral college. Very good. Very good. That's my sister. You was always aces. Always appreciated you, good sister. Stefania said, I personally think in the 2024 election, it'll be a red sweep. A lot of Democrats have switched sides. Well, I don't know. I hope you're wrong. Sharon Saunders is in the building. What's up, everybody? This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. And we're talking anything you want to talk about tonight. We're talking politics. And let me just say this to you all. You are the reasons why I have these kind of conversations, because you all show everybody that we do have a brain and we can think, and we're more than just, some TikTok or some, dancing on videos and shit like that. And don't get me wrong, it's fun, but we need to show that we are educated people, and that's just people, not just people of color, but just people of color need to stand strong. And once we galvanize and get together and do what we're supposed to do, we some bad. Shut your mouth. Talking about people of color. Eunice says to Michelle, we have to vote. This is part of the problem. People die so we could have the right to vote. Absolutely. Norman said, no one come out for who we want. Ask anyone, when did the House and Senate hold elections? Exactly. Sharon said Trump made me realize that all candidates need to take a psych test before running for president. You're right about that, Sharon. What's up, David? How you feeling, brother? You're definitely right. My man Big D, I ain't seen you in a while, brother. Happy New Year to you, man. It's good to see you. Yeah, we definitely need to do that. Darren said 10 years experience is not necessary, but they should get rid of the electoral college system. Yeah, I think that's probably one thing. But they always say we're the votes, but it seems like when we vote on something, nothing changes. So we definitely have to get behind that. We really have to do that. We have to get together and stuff. You know. Yeah, yeah. Listen, Trump scares me. He really does. You know, when I when I watch that damn Omen Damien, and then I hear that music, I'll be like, oh, and then I see Trump and throwing paper towels and all that, and them
sound effects.
Yeah, because you knew shit was about to happen when Lil Damien and that music was playing.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh shit. And then Gregory Peck went and looked in his head and saw them sixes. All shit went hell. And then the rest of the movies, and remember, Damien 3, he became the president. So I ain't saying Trump Damien, but
I didn't realize it was that many of them.
yeah, those are my joints. Those are scary joints. And that beat, because I kind of grew up The Exorcist. I'm just sidebarring everybody. After I found out that was green pea soup and she was spitting up. I mean, she did her mama dirty. When she turned her head around, and it was like, it's like, oh, that's my scary movie. I'm going back.
I love your sound effects.
Michelle said, here in Memphis, I was disappointed with the winnings. I couldn't Memphis is a red state, right, Michelle? She said, here in Memphis, I was disappointed with the winnings. I couldn't understand how so many Black people did not get out to vote. But then I found out it was because 40% of Memphis Black have felonies. No excuse. If Florida could change the law to allow felons to vote, then it should be done everywhere. If you pay taxes, then you should be able to vote. And what's so funny? We need to check into that too, Michelle, because after a certain time, I think felons can submit to vote again, or after a certain amount of years. I think so. That's something that Memphis needs to check into. I think they've changed that in New York too. Taylor said, so are we to conclude that you're okay with another family of Griffiths in the White House? Taylor, I really don't know who to put in the White House, sis. I really don't. I don't have that answer. But I don't want Trump. Do you want him back in there? I don't want to spend another 4 years complaining. I don't want to do that. I mean, I can complain about Biden, but at least I can say Biden is acting presidential. I mean, I guess it's feast or famine. What do I want to walk up to somebody and he tell me get out my face, or do I want somebody to sit there and listen to me and then not do what I want them to do? You got to pick your poison on this. Is the door open? Trump is like, yo, he said what Black people never came to him. Who wants to come to you? I mean, you tell me, Taylor, who do you want? Who would you put in office? Who would you like to run for? Colin said, what do you think of Maya Angelou being a civil quarter? I think she deserves more than that. Colin, I think you're absolutely right. You brought that to my attention. Yeah, Jason, classic movies. I can watch them timeless. Malika don't want me to turn them on at 12 o'clock at night. She'd be like, she can't sleep. But I can. I'd be like, oh shit. I'd be there right there. Damien, little exorcist, Linda Blair, coming down the steps sideways and shit. Colin said, yeah, I definitely think Maya Angelou deserves more. But then, like somebody said earlier, what about Harriet Tubman? She's supposed to have been on the $20 bill. So, things need to change. Colin, Sharon said midterm elections are just as important, if not more, than the presidential election. Definitely vote in all elections, state and federal. Lonnie said, just because you have a felony doesn't mean you can't vote. Exactly. LaShonda, what's up, Miss Weathers? Bill, you would not be surprised to see how stuck in times these people are out here. I'm sure. Norman said, Bill, we talk about change, but what are we going to do? There are no more black leaders. I agree. I agree. I mean, we still have our old leaders, but then we got the little Hakeem Jeffries, the Stacey Abrams, and I mean, like, where's the change? Like, where's like now? And I'm all for Stacey Abrams and people like that. Walcott, he used to preach at my church, but it seems like anybody of color that once they come up. Taylor, what do you think about Miss Abrams? Right? Is it Abrams or Adams? Right? I think it's Abrams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What do you think about her? I support her. I rock with her. People should have experience in politics in order to hold the office of president. Absolutely. Jason said, felon in New York has to finish all their time, and then they can be on. Okay, got you, Jay. Stefania said, Norman Davis, untrue. We have Minister Farrakhan, Ben Crump, Riza Islam, etc. You think, Stefan, you think Ben Crump is a leader for black people? Minister Farrakhan, he is a leader. I will not talk against the minister. You very seldom see me talk about against any really leaders of color because I just don't want to. And no disrespect to the white people that's watching or the white people that's ghosting, you're not gonna hear me come out here and say, "Oh, so and so is this," because then they'll say it, right? I remember that when Sharpton first came out. Because a lot of times, and I'm not trying to change the subject, but you would hear a lot of white people say, "Oh, if you hear," I saw some black people working like, "Oh, Al Sharpton's this, he's that, blah 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 blah." Next thing you know, they be like, "Yeah, I was talking to somebody at work, and they told me my black friend said, oh, Al Sharpton ain't shit." Got you. We can say it amongst ourselves, and I'm not telling anybody what to say and not how to say it, but I'm just saying sometimes I don't dog, but because they ain't calling their white politicians. Let me tell you something. There's some white people that will not talk against Trump at all. What's up, Sean? I see you. Vera with the lovely last name, Forster. I took my glasses off now, so give me a second, everybody. Let me try to zero in. Taylor said, I would support Abrams in a heartbeat. She's more qualified than Trump could ever be. And I totally agree. But then with that being said, Taylor, do you think America is ready to follow an African woman? Even though we know if something happened to Biden, Kamala would be a woman of color, right? She could sit there and she could be an AKA and she can electric slide with anybody and she can half Asian. But, a lot of people have a problem with her. They felt she was hard on crime. Let me put my glasses on because y'all talking. I like this. Next time, I know a lot of you are in the confines of your home, but we could always have a round table and you're always welcome to come on and we can kick it like this. So the next time, please, any one of you all just want to be on and chop it up like we're talking, just come on. It's not about a debate. It's just good old conversation that we're having. And you bring your drink with you too, because I'm not buying right now. Vera said, if eligible, they can apply for a certificate of relief. If off parole, they can apply for a certificate of good conduct. Before I retired 8 years ago, the law had changed, and we were helping them fill out the form to register. Jason said, we need new and younger black leaders. We have a lot of young black Republicans. Why is that? We don't have to be Democrat. And you're right. We don't have to be Democrat. Like I don't have, like I said, I'll tell anybody, I don't have a problem with somebody being a Republican. I'm sure all of us here, if we all believe like it's the status quo, if somebody says, oh, I believe in law and order, that you feel like you're conservative. We all may have different ideologies, conservative, liberal. It's just trying to find, or then maybe that's how you got that with that progressive or that these titles. Why can't I just pick a person, because let me tell you something. How do you expect Eric Adams not to be tough on crime? He was police officer. Now the bottom line is being tough on crime doesn't mean he wants to see a black or Latin person or Caucasian or any ethnicity getting pummeled or beat upside the head with a billy club. No, he doesn't want that. But damn sure, I'm sure he don't want his mother or rest in peace. I know his mother's deceased, but somebody of that elderly walking down the street, and that's why I want to see him, and he had to talk because he's come out and ran his campaign on public safety, and then the Manhattan DA was on some like, well, we're not going to prosecute this. And like I said, for those that missed me saying earlier, those know that Alvin Bragg has been on the show before, and I've asked him to come back. I texted him as soon as I saw that article. I was like, Al, Big Al, come on, got to come back and explain this, brother. And trust me, I will try to get Eric on again. Eric came on when he was running, and he is mayor, and hopefully I can get him back on time sometimes. You know, a lot of times with these gentlemen, of course, it may be just like a special edition Real Talk Chronicles. It may not be the Monday or the Wednesday. So let me read some of these comments. Let's see. Jason said, okay, I said that. Eunice said, the bottom line is we have to get off our butts and vote. If you don't vote, you have no way. Exactly. Colin said, I lost respect for Stacey. Not being there to welcome the vice president at the president takes your grievances beyond closed doors. Take your grievances behind. Oh, wow. I didn't know she did that, Colin. Thank you. Would you not vote for it, though? Even though you might be a little mad at it, would you still vote for her? Sean Nichols said, behind Crump. Oh, Benjamin Crump isn't leader, but he is a good legal advocate who can navigate the complexities of the legal system. Yes, he can. He's getting you paid. God forbid you lost a life, but he'll get you some money. Sharon said a 2-year-old is smarter and more qualified than idiot Trump. Absolutely. Sean said a leader of black people is what I meant to regarding Crump. I know what you're saying. Just be a smart Republican. Absolutely. What is Republican in 2022? Who knows? You could be one right now. Anybody could be. I could be one. Stefania said, while they're putting Maya Angelou on a coin is nice, we should not get caught up in the symbolism. We need tangible changes, real system put in place. Absolutely. Taylor said, it doesn't matter what party a person chooses. The individual should stand up to the oath they took and not place party over country and the Constitution. I'm totally with you on that, T. You know, I'm gonna have to get you on the show one time, sis. I haven't seen you in a long time, too. We need to chop it up. We need to exchange numbers. I don't even know if your number's still the same or mine is. We need to talk and just say hi. Sharon said, you don't have to be a Republican, but today's Republican Party is a damn cult. I agree with that. I would still vote for her. Thank you, Colin. I was under the impression that you would. I mean, we can still be mad at somebody, but still. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm multitasking, and this is what I'm trying to do. I appreciate you all for chiming in, talking with me, holding me down tonight while my other co-hosts are doing whatever they have to do for personal. I hope everybody is all right on their side. You know, next Monday, sitting in for Allison Williams, we got Lenny Green of 98.7. WBLS, 107.5 WBLS, and his partner, Indy Smith. And we also have Dr. Marilyn Corder coming in again, talking of some stuff. So we're going to talk some other stuff. We'll see what it is. And then Wednesday, you know, it's always Kevin and Chuck if they're here. But I always invite any of you, you're always welcome. Anybody, you can come in and ask questions since we haven't got the numbers where you can call in. Yet to hook it up, but you're always welcome to come in. Just reach out to me. I'll send you the link, and you're always welcome to come in and ask the doctors, talk to the pastor. The last Monday of the month, we have Pastor Kevin Graves, and it's always good to talk to him. He puts a spiritual thing on what's happening. I always ask him, what do you guys think? You know, what do you think about what's happening today, the culture and stuff like that? you know. So I got your text message, Norm. Good. I definitely will, you know. So everybody, you're more than welcome. Stefania said, Bill, why don't you and Malika have a relationship segment or real talk, like a strawberry letter type of feel? We did, you know, what we could sit here from the beautiful thing is, I don't know if anybody knows, for those that do know, real talk started about relationships. And the evolution of real talk just went into just talking more about what's happening in the world today and just about why he don't love me or why she cheated on me or vice versa or whatever the case may be. But the one thing I always say, and that's what I do when I go back and I just sit in on other panels and people ask me to come and talk, they know I can go back to the origin, and that's talking about relationships. My conversation about relationships now are different because I'm married. So now Malika and I can talk about what it's like to have a healthy marriage and what are the things that you need to try to do to be married, you know, because it's a whole nother concept just being married. You know what I'm saying? You know, just for edification, for those that think they know me or know me, they can say, "Oh, Bill, you was probably one of the." In their eye, they felt I was one of the most selfish individuals in the world. Come to light is that I've realized to be married to someone, you have to sacrifice you, put them ahead of you to make that relationship work. That's male or female. I'm not saying sell your soul or just be a puppet, but you have to put somebody, because if you love them enough to be there with them, then you should love them enough to compromise to a certain level. I've always told anybody, and then I'll go back on this topic, the topics that we were talking about. I told anybody, I said, all my life, I've dated women that would kiss my ass.
Get it right.
I know the whole thing I was going to say, but I'll say it on here. What I've always said. I've dated women that would kiss my ass, lick my ass, but I didn't date a lot of women that would wipe my ass. And I knew when this woman was, I was sick in the hospital and things like that, and vice versa, that she was there and she had my back 200%. Besides being beautiful, she's a power sister too, educated, you know, got degrees, all kind of things. She's a techie, so I love her to death. And
I love you too.
I'm sorry. No. So yeah, Stefan, you got us talking that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's it. That's the whole thing with when we talk about relationships. So we can do that, but we might talk a little relationship stuff with Lenny because you know that's what he do. But I have no problems having a little relationship segment. Anytime I might just want to talk about some relationship stuff, we could kick it, boy. And Malika and I, we don't argue. We don't always agree, but we don't argue. We don't do that. It's just adult conversation. We don't. We're both spoiled, so just full some little transparency. But let's get back to that other stuff. Thank you. She said. Jason said, "Amen." Vivian said, "I remember that." Michelle said, "Y'all compliment each other. That would the way it should be." Absolutely. I love her too. Thank you, Eunice. So yeah, everybody. These are the conversations that we need to have with either. We need to. What do y'all think about quality of life? You see more panhandlers out there. You saw more people begging for money, and I remember I saw a squeegee people out there trying to wipe the window. I was like, "Dog, come on! Like you really dating yourself? You must have been in jail and came out, and you trying to pick up on this old habit." You know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all believe in that? Do you think they should stop the quality of life crimes? That was big on Giuliani's thing. That was one thing Giuliani did. He gave police officers a fair reign, open reign, just to arrest anybody for panhandling and stuff of that magnitude. And they felt, let me tell you something, what the mindset of law enforcement back then was like, if you take the people off the streets for the small crimes, the big crimes won't happen. Does that make any sense? Does it maybe have some validity? Because if a person is begging for money, their mindset is that he might be more inclined to rob somebody because he doesn't have money. I don't think that stops the mindset of somebody shooting somebody over right now. You got gangs out here shooting each other over beef, your retribution. You know what I'm saying? Like just retaliation and just all kind of stuff. Oh, he said he dissed my boy, he dissed my sister. So now we're shooting each other. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just gunfights. Got more little cliques and gangs. Stefania said, well, quality of life, it depends. A lot of young people are scammers. Unfortunately, I know because I've been a victim. Lonnie said, not true because their circumstances have not changed. I understand, Lonnie. I was just putting it out there in the universe of what I'm just telling you what was happening behind the scenes. Sean said it's going back to the old New York City. I think they should be doing something about it. What is the question? What do you think about quality of life? Do you think police officers should start arresting people again for panhandling and uh, things of that magnitude? But right now, they've taken away so many different laws that you can't. Like I'm a firm believer. I don't knock anybody for smoking weed, not at all. Do I think weed should be legal? Yes. Do I think weed should be smoked in the house and not in the street? Yes. That is your personal thing. A person still can't walk down the street kind of sort of with an open container, right? People do it now. It might you're not getting arrested for that little nonsense. But doesn't mean it makes it right. I personally don't like weed smoke. It just and and for all the people out here that feel like, oh, it's all right to smoke weed in the street. Okay, you own a business. Person coming to work in the morning and he's smoking weed. Weed gets on your clothes, worse, cigar smoke and everything. Now you come to the office and you corporate 500 company or whatever, transit, any job. Do you want that person representing you smelling like weed? That's all. It's something to think about. That's all I'm trying to. I'm not telling anybody not to smoke. Well, I'm gonna tell you not to smoke. Do what you want to do. I'm just trying to say I don't think you should be smoking in front of my building when I come down the block. My wife come down the block. She ain't got to be ducking around people smoking weed. I don't want. I don't. I'm not a big component of hanging out. When I was a kid, if we hung out, we was hanging out with a purpose. We wasn't just hanging out. Listen, now don't get me wrong. Knowing the hood, dude hanging out on the corner from 12 to 12, he gonna tell you everything that move on that block. And that's why I always used to say, nothing ever gonna happen to my car on my block. If it does, I know who I'm going to see. Let's see. I think we person begging. Let's see. No, yes, black people don't have the culture. Okay, Norm said, Bill, as we as black people don't have a culture, we don't have a food, dress, or religion. We just adapt to cultures around us. We never seen a Chinese person eating spaghetti and meatballs. Okay, good point. Tracy, what? What do you mean, Trace? Taylor, I don't agree. A person begging means just that they're asking for help because they can't do any better at that point. I agree. I mean, but I'm just telling you, the mindset of law enforcement back then was that people panhandling and doing stuff like that. But I'm come on, I've seen people selling. You remember they're selling the oranges? People get arrested for that. Once upon a time, not anymore now. Tracy said, I can't breathe fresh air now. It's everywhere. Yeah, I agree with you. Colin said, quality of life in Harlem would be better if they cleaned up 125th Street in Lenox and 125th Street and Lenox Avenue. No more methadone clinics. Absolutely. Yeah. Stefan, yeah, Norm, that's my dude, man. He kick it in. Lena, what's going on? Use weed, candy, or cakes. You're right. Sean, can the courts deal with the increase in cases for quality of life crimes after a current officer is able to deal with the officers in your day? Well, I'm sure they can because people have made a living off of people getting arrested. Cops got countless overtimes, hours of overtime. There have been more people, and Taylor can contest to this when we were in transit. There are more people that lived off their overtime than their base pay. Civil servants are like prime examples of that. I don't know too many police officers live off straight pay. I don't know any FD that lives off straight pay. I don't know any transit workers, bus operators. When I was bus operator, you didn't live off straight pay. You knew what your base was, but overtime was there. Now they started cutting back on overtime. Is what it is. Yeah, Stefania, that's Miles snoring.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, ain't that something?
He's so loud.
He's a
I'm
terrible.
sorry about
It's
that.
all right. That's her dog. Yeah, Tracy, Harlem has changed so much. Definitely. Michelle Ivy said, yeah, Bloomberg, article. Cannabis. Yep. Tracy said, you can't go into any store in Harlem without someone opening the door for you and begging. I'm talking about the banks, all that. And then talk about, oh, I need help. Listen, on 144th and Broadway, there's a black guy, older black guy there. He's there all the time. It's like it's his job. And then there's another one at the CVS on the corner. These guys are there religiously. Now, you can go there and beg. You spend your 12 hours begging. I don't know what you get. But see, this is what I need to see. I need to see them go to one of these little stores, grocery stores and things. So can I bag some money up for a day? My tip money is mine or whatever. I'm sure it's going to be more than what they're asking somebody, because I don't know too many people coming out the bank giving you money, because now you know what money I got. Just because you see me going to the bank don't mean I'm going to give you my money. You know what I'm saying? Paula Fields. Oh, yeah, Lonnie, at the Chase, exactly. You know it. So, I know what I'm talking about. Cats there all the time. Yeah, Michelle said better snores than farts. Exactly, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Colin said, yeah, weed today stinks. Just having it on your body, bag pocket. Absolutely. Eunice said black neighborhoods, as most cities have changed. They definitely have. So yeah, everybody, this is the situations that we're dealing with. Quality of life. I'm telling you, when we was a kid, James Baker making big paper on a daily basis, after Tracy said, and the drug dealers and prostitutes on 145th in the morning. That's crazy. I know. Tracy, you're from the hood. You're from 45th? Let me find out. I forgot. Taylor said the sad part of legalizing marijuana is employed by society to keep people of color behind the eight ball. If it was truly designed to make amends for the disproportionate number of people affected by it being criminalized, this is why it does cost 210,000 to apply for a dispensary license. And I know it's definitely it's a big business. You are right. The license is crazy for that. You are so, sister, you are on your game. Let me do exactly, because it costs a lot to apply for a dispensary license. If they truly wanted to level the playing field, give those that were affected, give them a license and some money to open a dispensary. Eunice said they tried that downtown. It lasted 2 days. Tracy said, yes, came back for a while from Westchester dealing with police harassment. Oh, wow. You might have to tell me about that offline. See if I help you out. Wendell Hicks is in the building. What's up, my brother? My high school brother, my Harlem cat. Hey, Yolanda, how are you? Let me just say this. To get a license, a lot of people better stop playing that game too, trying to get that medicinal license, because once you start talking about you got a license for that weed, it's going to take a lot of things. You're going to get gun licenses, and other licenses may be revoked, because as Taylor and I know, you could not have certain kind of things in your system if you can have liquor in your hour. What is it, Taylor? What, for 24 hours, or what is it? before you get behind that wheel on that bus. So a lot of people, you stop playing with these games. If you're working in there behind a computer, shoot, man. And Sean, you asked me a question. Let me go back to that question you asked me, Sean. I don't want to forget it. It was an excellent question too. You said, "Can the courts deal?" Oh yeah, I think I answered it. Yeah, the courts can deal with the cases because let me tell you something. That's how people got hired. Overtime is always going to be there. The systems back then were saturated with people. Let me tell you something. It was like a cheese line. People getting in jail. Crazy. Overtime, everybody got in jail. Everybody got paid. You'd ask anybody, my man Terrence was on here. He was a court officer. Back in the days, people get that money and corrections. Ooh, wee, boy. Corrections was killing it, right, James? Sean said, with a new mayor who is a former NYPD captain, is this going to allow the NYPD to focus on those qualities of life issues with the gun issue being out of control? And will this clash with the views of the new DA? We have to find out. I know they talk. I do know that. That was told to me when I had the conversation with Alvin. He said I think he was giving me the impression that the mayor had his back, but it contradicts everything the mayor is talking about in public safety, and then you're not going to prosecute for these kind of crimes. They don't coincide. So, like I said, we got to get him on the show, see what he's talking about. Let's see. Colin said, he said, who remembers running home from school doing your homework, then rushing off to pack grocery bags at the A&P at Key Food? Exactly. You want that little money, you go get it. Go to the store. Yeah, like you said, Baker, you said that's one of the reasons why you switched from transit to PD. Absolutely. That was all that money right there. Sharon Klesko in the house. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. I appreciate you all for talking, sharing your thoughts and your views. Now, the bottom line is we know about the conflict. How do we make the solution? All of us say together, galvanize and try to help and educate each other on the politics and things that we need to do going forward in this world today to make this a better place. So I say all that to say that, we all know what we got to do. We got to spread good knowledge, information, educate one another. Let's not fall short of let's not give up. We still have to do that. We got to respect our, we try to talk to these youth. Said the moratorium of rent payment ends on Friday. I think it's going to be an extremely bad day.
Moratorium.
A moratorium, yeah. Mm-hmm. Paula said, I was against the medical marijuana dispensaries until I had to use one. But that's all right. But once you tell that, now I don't know where you are, but if you have a gun license, you might have to give up that gun license. So, because you're still under an influence of a drug, that's why they tell you with other times with certain drugs that we take, you can't operate a motor vehicle or you don't mix this drug with that drug. So now, you're under certain influence, can't have a firearm in your possession. So the rent, yeah, Stefania said yes. It's going to end this Friday. Yep. What's that word again?
Moratorium.
Moratorium. Excuse me, baby. Tongue got a little fat, y'all. Moratorium. So that's ending. So, there's so many different things that's happening in this world today. Miss Green, what's going on? How are you and hubby? Happy anniversary, I think it was for you two guys, too. Shout out to all the birthday people. Capricorn is still our season. We rocking. Capricorn rocks.
Shout out to you. How long are you going to celebrate your birthday?
Oh, well, thank you for that.
For like a whole month.
I don't know. As long as I still get birthday wishes, I'll still I'll celebrate. But thank you all for that for the birthday wishes too. Sharon said, "Are you allowed to own a gun in New York if you don't work in law enforcement?" I don't know. Some people, I know a friend of mine got a shotgun license. I think it was target license. You might have to go to hell and hot water to get one. I would tell everybody here to try to get one though. Please try to get one. New York is one of the hardest places to get guns, but everybody getting shot. Chicago too. All them shooting in them projects and stuff like that. There's no guns. There's no gun stores around there. Where they getting the guns from? So you tell me. Stefania said, "I feel so bad for the tenants. What are they going to do?" That's a good question. Jason said the state ran out of money, but people can still apply for the rent assistance. Okay. Paula said, "You know a lot of Capricorns." I sure do. I know a lot of people. Vivian said, I'm going to my firearm workshop next week. Good for you, Vivian. Please get it. You know, I employ all you to get licenses if you can. I believe in bearing arms.
Is that Vivian Garcia?
Yes, that's Vivian Garcia. Mm-hmm. Sean said, regarding the rent payments, check out the ERAP, Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Check it out. Paula said, that's the truth about them guns in New York. Eunice said, out of the trunk of cars in Amsterdam. That's crazy. You said that before. That is off the chain, you know? So, everybody, if there's anything else you want to talk, Sweetie, you want to say anything? You want to tell them about the calendar? Did you put that thing in for Norm?
Yes.
And the mugs, and I had the magazines. I don't have it right here. So, I appreciate you all for chiming in with me. I really was just going to talk it up for just about an hour, but you all had such a great conversation. Norm said, I'm looking at the game and listening to you as well. Man, the Knicks need to get rid of Randall. Absolutely. I'm gonna go check it out too and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Miss Taylor said, these kids are built different nowadays. My brother asked me, don't kids in your neighborhood shovel snow? Nah, sis. I laugh. Let me tell you something. Remember when we was growing up? That's how you made your side money, you know, mowing lawns and shoveling snow and so all that. Let me tell you something. At one of our properties, the contractor was telling us he has kids, and he was like, "Yo, I can't get my kids to stay focused on it. I can't get it." Let me finish reading what you're saying. She said, "These kids are built different nowadays." My brother asked me, "Don't kids in your neighborhood shovel snow?" I laughed. I told them these kids are so lazy. If you give them a job sleeping, they'll wake up and quit. You're right about that. We were just having a Facebook conversation on this, and one chick said, "Ain't nobody sending their kids out into the snow. This ain't back in the days." Wow. But see, people don't understand. Sending your kids to go shovel snow or pack groceries, it showed them a responsibility. It wasn't about the job, the manual labor that they were doing, or the minuscule job. It was about going to work. Let me tell you something. My boys, when we were growing up, was working at McDonald's. We all had little summer jobs. So, I mean, people need to get off that. The problem I had with her statement is that our parents didn't send us out there either. We had a desire and drive to make our own money. Absolutely, Taylor. Absolutely. This is a beautiful chain you have on. What's the Cuban link? What's that, a Cuban link? No, Paula, this is Uno to 50. Remember, it's Uno to 50, sis. Congratulations on the martial arts magazine. Thank you, Sean. Oh, yeah, Malika, get the magazine for me so I can show everybody if they want to purchase the magazine and read about their boy. Sharon said, great discussion. Got to get back to work. Have a good night. Hey, Malika. Vivian Garcia is in the building. Yolanda is in the building. Lopez. Then my grandson shovels snow and makes that money. Absolutely. So, everybody, I'm just going to show you who our public service announcements or this show is sponsored by. And I love this lady's first, her work. Let me say, it's a good gift to give. Once you have the calendar, this is one of many things besides the painting. Depends on what kind of abstract art you like. But this is my mother-in-law and my wife's art gallery. So remember, I told you my wife is a boss. She does a lot of things. Hand me one of your mugs, two of your mugs. So she has a plethora of artwork and other things, and also too the little thing, right? The little paperweight. So each calendar is a different color, a different design. Each page, each month of your birthday, and then after this, you don't throw this away. You take them out and you put them in a frame and you keep it. I just think they're really awesome colors for your desk, something to give somebody nice. If people have birthdays, give them a calendar. And then don't talk about you about supporting Black business, but there's a Black artist, right? That's her mother's work. And then here's the other little thing. There's different designs. You can order online. And what's the little thing we like? I like. This is my favorite, though. It's good for paperweight because
they come in different sizes, but this is just a little miniature one.
And this is just a miniature one of different sizes.
It's an acrylic block.
Acrylic block. So I mean, this is great for my side of the desk where I keep my papers and stuff. But I love certain things like that. So yeah, Malika will put the website in there and stuff like that. Also, too, for those that do know, I've been in the martial arts for a long time, and this is a Black-owned magazine. You will get to find out some of the deadliest martial artists that you may know or didn't know of all different ethnicities and colors. And somebody made the magazine. So I'm very happy and honored that somebody recognized me. I mean, I've been recognized in other things, but it's always a humbling experience when somebody asks you to be a part of something. And this is the edition I'm in. It's the second magazine. So it's a very good article. My teacher's in there. I'm honored to be, one teacher's going to be in the next one coming up. And I was honored to see two of my teachers in here. One passed away and the other one is in here. So, Norm said, okay, I'll have her text you the website, Norm. Thank you. I don't know what people. Norman said, I need a few people. Taylor said, I got mine and it's beautiful. Thank you, Taylor. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Do you live upstate? If so, I'll hire them. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So, Tracy said, pack groceries. We have to bring out our own bags now and pay for it. Yeah, exactly. Ain't that something? No, I'm definitely, we're going to text you as soon as we get offline. Vivian said, sorry, you have to apply and go through the process first. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, James. Thank you, Lena. We will do that. Anna. How do you get the magazine? At Amazon. It's called Deadly Art of Survival magazine. And it's been rocking on Amazon. It's #1. Shout out to Anna David. Anna, happy birthday to your mother. Both of your mother and your father are Capricorns.
And happy anniversary.
And happy anniversary to you and my dude. Appreciate you guys. Let's see who Taylor, where do you live at? You said, what's his name? Manchin and Sienna both need to resign. Manchin state of West Virginia is one of the lowest ranking states in education and economy. Thank you. And I love you too, Anna. Exactly. I know you love Capricorns. That's why we get along, because exactly, you know how to deal with those Capricorns. Harold Freeman in the building. What's going on, everybody? Everybody, it's about that time. I'm about to get out of here and rock out for a minute. So please, next Monday, I have Lenny Green of WBLS in the building, sitting in for Allison Williams. Dr. Marilyn Corder will be coming in too. She'll be stopping in for a few. She's always busy, but I just appreciate my cousin. And, thumbs up if y'all liking the shows and what we're doing and how we kicking it. The one thing when I talk to a lot of you, sidebar, the one thing that you always say, and then other people chime in, was like Malika, we were talking to somebody today, and the beautiful thing that you always say is like, yo, Bill, what you're giving out is very informative. And I appreciate that, and I won't stop as long as you don't want me to stop, I'll keep going because I appreciate this. And Taylor, don't forget to inbox me your number, and I'll inbox you. I haven't spoken to you in so long. We got to catch up this weekend, maybe tomorrow, and just find out what's going on. Chop it up. Everybody, it's Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. Next Monday, Real Talk with Allison Williams. Send your prayers for her. She is recouping and recovering very well. That's who called. We had to call her back. All right, I will, Taylor, definitely. And I'll send you my information. Anybody, if you ever want to be on the show, please. I know a lot of times the people in the comfort and the confines of their home. But then if this show gets on the radio, don't be trying to say you want to join. No, let me stop. I'm just playing. Maliki, so I was like, look, I said, don't say you want to join. No, let me stop. No, you know I will take all of you with me. Y'all can call in all the time you want. I appreciate it.
You're so funny.
Good night, everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. Happy New Year. Stay safe. Wear your mask. You know, if you haven't got vaccinated, I don't know what to tell you. That's on you. But just cover up. Stop coughing. You know, zinc, turmeric, whatever. J&J. What's the one? Pfizer, Moderna. Whatever it is that you take, you got to take to get it on, man. Good night. Appreciate you all.
Bye.
Jason, you and Marlene, we got to holler at y'all. We haven't spoken to y'all in a minute.
Definitely.
Lisa, tell her family I said hello. Tell them I love them. Tell moms I appreciate her. And your brothers and your sisters. Sean, we got to chop it up soon, too. Everybody listen. Inbox me or text me or something so I could talk to you guys and keep up. Vivian, it's always a pleasure. Thank you. You know, good night, everybody. Appreciate you. Go Knicks. Miles.